up, gamers? I'm kind of like propping myself up over this massive box. Jason here, and today on Dice and Dragons, we are going to be unboxing Hellboy The Boardgame. Now, I'd love to give the designer some credit, but it's not marked on the box. Haven't gone through everything. The game is published by Mantic in collaboration with Dark Horse, and this is the Kickstarter backer copy. Now I'm just going to tilt the box over. You can see the green Kickstarter symbol, and you know, the box doesn't even close properly. Be interesting to see how that works after we get everything unboxed and organized. And the one thing I do want to mention, doesn't even fit on my Calac shelves back there. This is one big box. With that being said, I'm going to get this set up with our top-down camera, and let's take a look as to what's in the game. Now let's unbox Hellboy the Boardgame. Now if you're wondering why the zoom is different, the box is massive. I had to raise up our top-down camera in order to fit everything on screen. Now let's see what you got. Well, we've got a nice quick tutorial guide, and I'm holding it up as close as I can so that you can see. Now the tutorial does provide you with a 10-page explanation, well, 8 pages there, as to what you're going to need to learn in order to play the game. Now we've got some ads for other Star Saga, which you will find on the channel. There's also Dungeon Saga, some more Mantic games. This is not going to be going back in the box. We've got some nice artwork here. So it's just the stills, well, not the stills, but some prints of the box art. One in black and white, one in color. You could definitely frame this and do something with it if you're looking for some nice art for your game room. We then have the rule book, which is the full rules are at 32 pages. So there's a lot more detail in here, but it does seem like the tutorial is meant to just get you going. Now we've got, this is a little annoying. They did give us a spot here in order to be able to open it up. Now I'm just going to have to take this off camera quickly. Something not made to open easily without damaging what's inside. I'll have to get at it again. And then as I was ripping it, I hit it with my knuckle and dinged one of the cards. So packaging, I could have potentially used that there, but could have scratched it. Definitely not my favorite. So let's see what we have here. We've got Kate Corrigan, Sidney Leach, Bud Waller, and Horned Hellboy. So these, as you notice, the art is only the miniatures, but some of the other ones do actually have some of the comic book art. I guess it's just the ones that are more distinct than their comic book sort of version. I do love the art. I believe it's done by Mike Mignola, but I could be wrong. So, Trevor Bunham, Scott Clark, Pancakes Hellboy, Roger, The Visitor, Hellboy himself, Liz Sherman, John Krause, and Abe Sapien. At least the ding doesn't show up. So, and as you can see, we've got a lot of characters. Now this is because it's the Kickstarter version of the game, which does include an expansion, and it's all in this one box. I do believe the expansion content will be made available later. Now I'm just going to flip this on its side, and let's get the plastic covering off and see what we get in here. Well, we've got some identification bases. They're hard plastic for each of the players. There's up to 4 players. We've got the different action cubes. Now, take a look at these plastic or metal. So they're plastic. I'm just going to open these up right now. Seems fairly easily. Well, maybe not. A little more challenging than I thought it would be. Well protected. plastic. I just would rather get these into the bag. And I do appreciate very much that we're being given bags to put things in. Something I wish more companies would do, as most of us gamers do bag just about everything. I'll be bagging all of these cards to make sure that they don't flop around and get damaged. Not quite sure what the black cubes are for. Now, these I'm not going to open because these are case files. So as you can see, this is the back of the case file deck. PPRD case file that tells you to read this first. And as you can see, there's different jobs, different cases. So it's definitely a mission structure that you're going on. And this just tells you, it looks how to reconstruct the case files. And these are the starting ones. So we'll leave that in the packaging, open them up when we play our first few games. Now we've got cards here, and once again some tightly sealed packaging. I'll come back to that. We've got stuff that looks to be a little bit easier to open here. Not the best, but still gonna be able to get it all open. Let's see what we got. Minions, the Witching Hour. So these are boss behavior cards. Resolving unexpected threats, new rules. So not sure exactly what this card is. I'm going to put it here. We've got some enemy cards, boss behavior cards, and the deck of doom. So perhaps that goes with the deck of doom or boss behavior. Adding unexpected threat, more enemies. Let's just take a look at the other side. So we're seeing what different bosses do. And you can see the different enemy cards, and it shows you which miniatures apply to which enemy. Oof. That's just straight up out of the comics, and I love it. This definitely feels like it's going to be a comic book board game. So there we have it. That's what we get here. And I'm wondering if this other pack of cards is not just more of the same, since this is the Kickstarter edition of the game. There we have. I'm definitely going to have to look through a component list in a little more detail. This is not coming out very easily. So look through the component list, as I was saying, to organize everything, but this seems to be the same thing. Deck of Doom, enemies, so Rasputin again, and I'll flip that over. So this is pretty much the exact same cards. What I'm guessing is when I looked at the rule book, I did take a look at a PDF, didn't go through everything in detail, but it looks like the Kickstarter version has some expansions, so each of these packs of cards is separate. They're cards for different things. And this pack of cards is also, looks to be the same thing. We've got, actually this looks more events, no enemies in there. So this looks, so yeah, this is the full deck of Doom right here. So I'm looking like these are cards that can get added in based on the bosses that you're fighting. This might be a little bit of a longer unboxing than I thought it would be. There's just so much content in here. Oh, lots and lots of plastic. Love board games, but yeah, tons of plastic. So here we've got encounter cards, starting cards for different heroes. We've got some starting requisition cards. So these are things that we can start the game with or acquire. There's different sides to them. Take a look at the other side. We've got some encounter cards. I'm not sure why it's like all mixed up. I'm gonna have to definitely take a look at the rules, but it does feel like feels like I'm going to be doing a lot of sorting of cards, and I'm not sure how much I like that with regards to how the game is packaged and presented. I can't remember because it's been a long time since I unboxed Star Saga, and that I didn't do on camera, but I feel like that was a little bit of the same way with regards to content. And I'll take a look at what we've got here. So backup agents, and then more requisition cards from the requisition deck. Specific encounters for the Nazi HQ. But as you can see, it's still all really mixed together, which is probably because these ones here, why they're different. As you can see, BPRD Tactical gets starting card for Roger. This looks to be like a deck coming straight out of expansion content that was placed in the Kickstarter. So what I'm going to do is let's put the lid back on. Let's put this off to the side and then see what else we've got in the box. Now I do like these foam protectors. It's great for shipping the game. I may or may not keep them. Haven't decided yet, but there's a lot of stuff. And right now though, it does look like everything could potentially fit around these two protectors. So we'll just put these off camera. I'll use them when I rebox the game. Now this is definitely tight plastic, but at least the tiles all punch out. So even if I do damage a corner trying to get this open, it shouldn't affect anything because as you can see, none of the tiles are full. So that's definitely a little bit of a smart move here. Let me get it open. Definitely not the easiest task. So let's take a look. So we've got starting rooms, and you know what? Just for the sake of ease, I'm going to punch that thing right away. Be honest, this seems a little excessive. So more rooms. You'll notice that there's really 4 rooms, 1 or 2. Doesn't seem like there's much else. So now we're getting to see some of the different tokens. This looks to be like some special scenery. These are to identify certain things. Like I said, I actually have read the rules a little bit. We almost played this recently. A friend of mine's copy also backed the game. These are agent allies that may or may not be with you. And then we've got I'm just going to punch this out right away. It's unfortunate this bigger board might have been nice, but oh well. It gives us the sort of our management board, the doom track information to solve the case files, and places to put encounters and other cards. And then we've got more tiles. Now here we've got the miniatures, and this has always been a strength of Mantic's, are the minis. Now let's pop them out this way and see what we have now. There's a ton of miniatures. I've got all of the expansion content, and everything is taped. I don't want this to be like a 30-40 minute unboxing video where we go through everything, but I definitely want to be a little careful with this. With the tape, I don't want to damage the stuff like I ended up doing with the Batmobile's packaging, but then again, I really got to learn how to store Batman and figure all that out. Let's get rid of the tape. And let's see what we got. This definitely looks to be like our set of heroes in. I don't know if this tree is going to be the same in the release version of the game, because as I pointed out, there was a lot of extra characters. For example, we've got Horned Hellboy right here. And we've got regular Hellboy, which I believe some of these are Kickstarter exclusives. Rasputin. The details on the minis are fantastic. If you like the paint, I think you're going to be very happy. We even have just some busts of the characters. Now, I don't know if these are different character sheets or just something we can use to play the game differently. Looks like Ape Sapien right here. Oof, that is definitely one nasty demon, but small wings. I'm loving the Pancakes Hellboy that we see right there. And monkeys with guns. Almost looks like it's straight out of Planet of the Apes. Very cool. I gotta say, overall with these minis, I'm impressed. Take a look at the Naga, the details on the hair. Hopefully you can see it. I know it's all like a little far away, so I'll bring stuff just a little bit closer. Take out Hellboy again just to show you all of the detail on the miniature. Absolutely fantastic. So let's continue going through the mini boxes. And the tape. And in retrospect, probably should have had a knife. It would have saved me about 15 seconds per per thing I'm trying to open, but it's not the end of the world. Once you get one piece of tape off, the rest comes fairly easily. It looks like I just ended up getting the tape stuck here. That's something I will deal with myself off camera. So what do we have here? We've got definitely our frogmen. Now, from what I've seen from going through the rule book, looks like all the content that would be in the base game. So if you're getting this retail, you would have all of this because there's definitely infernos, lots of talk about frogmen. We've got the different frog swarms here. Custom dice, which is a signature of Mantic, and kind of like the way it's just put in a funky way. Now these tokens, not exactly sure what they're for, even though I've gone through the rule book. Then once again, we've got miniatures for, looks to be the scenery, which can actually be destroyed. Now, let me put this back on. The content that I've got sitting off to the side here. And let's see what else we got. Well, we've got our big bad enemies here, and we'll make sure to showcase all these minis in glorious detail. I'm not sure which one of these are Kickstarter exclusives, if any of them are, but they look just great. Now we got some more foam in there, which means might be able to actually store everything once it's all punched. So I'll just put this here for the moment and let's take a look. Wow. That's a demon, and he looks a lot like Cthulhu, but look at all the details. What excellent miniatures. I gotta say, I know the game was pricey, but after seeing these minis going all in, I really have no complaints. It was well worth the Kickstarter. Love the tentacles, love the details on this, just with the wood, the way it's all rising out. And the storage solution for these to make sure that they are kept in good condition is just fantastic. Loving this alligator / dragon demon. Very cool. Now, it's going to just take me some time to figure out how it all is supposed to sort of fit back in here. It seems to be, yeah, right? And then this is the real big one, and wow, that is a nice chunk of plastic, but fantastic detail for this burrow demon. Like, if you're a painter and you want to paint a ton of minis, it's definitely looking like this game is for you. Just want to see with the foam. I'll probably slip some stuff off camera if anything slipped. I apologize. So it's just foam, just used to help even out the storage. So what I'm going to do for right now, I'm going to take out this last tray. Oh, I thought there was a last tray. There were 2 trays. Well, let's lift out both trays. I'm going to put this back. We'll start with the bottom tray, and then we'll start reboxing all of this content. Now, after looking at the bigger minis, I do find that the smaller minis don't have as much detail, but it's not like that's really something you can necessarily control. So what do we have here? We've got werewolves. Definitely looking like witches, and I'll just take the werewolf up so you get a closer look on camera. Eagles. Are they good or bad? Depends on if you're playing Lord of the Rings, I guess. Wolves. Bats, and pretty cool. I like the way they're put together. And of course, harpies. And so much detail on the wings. I'm only up to the camera. Not sure how well I'd see it in focus, but just great. Don't want to get this tape stuck on it. Now we will put this back in the box. And it's going to be very interesting figuring out how to sort of rebox this whole thing. Now the tape here is already, oh, looks like they accidentally put excess tape, making it easier to come off. Yeah. So I've got the tape off. Here seems to be where we get our Nazis. And it really wouldn't be Hellboy without the Nazis. just a little more stuff. We do have some bending on the rifle there, but good stuff. Love these gas mask troopers. Once again, so much detail. Now, I'm not as familiar with Hellboy in the comics, but we got the chicken and some more character busts. Overall, very cool. No complaints. Let's start reboxing this whole thing back up. And then I've got to punch, sort, and figure out how to store it. Now, getting these things back in was challenging. Managed to get it done. Like I said, this is a Kickstarter unboxing of the game. So with regards to retail, if you're watching this after you bought the retail version or thinking about the retail version, you might want to go and take a look as to what the differences are. As you can see, the storage is just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put everything back in here. I know it's not the way it came out, but it doesn't really matter. For now, we're going to get our foam back. Get this back and just catching the edges a little bit here, but I guess it's because it's sticking out. Then we've got our characters, a rule book. Kind of has to go on top of the other one, not another way. We get the box back on, and there you have it, our unboxing of Hellboy the Boardgame with, this is the first wave of the Kickstarter, so with some of the expansions that were included in the Agent Pledge, well, all the expansions including the Agent Pledge, the other expansions are coming in the second wave, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to be back with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when we release our next video. Also, down below in the video description, you can find all the links to our social media feeds. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you want to see what this game looks like while we're playing it, well, that's where you'll find all of our images. And down below, popping up in front of me now or very shortly, will be some links to other content. It will definitely be Hellboy related once we get a review up and out into the YouTube space. And with that being said, don't forget, keep playing games.